invite you to turn in your Bibles to Daniel. If you were there last week and left something tucked in there, we're in the same chapter. And so if you remember, this is the part that Brent described to you last week in great detail. I would have her do it again, but hopefully you remember from last week. And so this is a little bit of a long section of scripture, but I invite you to follow along as Daniel talks to the king here. Then Daniel went to Arioch, whom the king had appointed to execute the wise men of Babylon, and said to him, "Do not execute the wise men of Babylon. Take me to the king, and I will interpret his dream for him." Arioch took Daniel to the king at once and said, "I have found a man among the exiles from Judah who can tell the king what his dream means." The king asked Daniel, also called Belteshazzar, "Are you able to tell me what I saw in my dream and interpret it?" Daniel replied, "No wise man, enchanter, magician, or diviner can explain to the king the mystery he has asked about. But there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries. He has shown King Nebuchadnezzar what will happen in days to come. Your dream and the visions that pass through your mind as you lay on your bed are these. As you were lying there, O king, your mind turned to things to come, and the revealer of mysteries showed you what is going to happen. As for me, this mystery has been revealed to me, not because I have greater wisdom than other living men, but so that you, O king, may know the interpretation, and that you may understand what went through your mind. You looked, O king, and there before you stood a large statue, an enormous, dazzling statue, awesome in appearance. The head of the statue was made of pure gold, its chest and arms of silver, its belly and thighs of bronze, its legs of iron, its feet partly of iron and partly of baked clay. While you were watching, a rock was cut out, but not by human hands. It struck the statue on its feet of iron and clay and smashed them. Then the iron, the clay, the bronze, the silver, and the gold were broken to pieces at the same time and became like chaff on a threshing floor in the summer. The wind swept them away without leaving a trace. But the rock that struck the statue became a huge mountain and filled the whole earth. This was the dream. And now we will interpret it to the king. You, O king, are the king of kings. The God of heaven has given you dominion and power and might and glory. In your hands he has placed mankind, the beasts of the field, and the birds of the air. Wherever they live, he has made you ruler over them all. You are that head of gold. After you, another king will rise, inferior to yours. Next, the third kingdom, one of bronze, will rule over the whole earth. Finally, there will be a fourth kingdom, strong as iron, for iron breaks and smashes everything. And as iron breaks things to pieces, so it will crush and break all the others. Just as you saw that the feet and toes were partly of baked clay and partly of iron. So this will be a divided kingdom. Yet it will have some of the strength of iron in it, even as you saw iron mixed with clay. As the toes were partly iron and partly clay, so this kingdom will be partly strong and partly brittle. And just as you saw the iron mixed with baked clay, so the people will be a mixture, and will not remain united any more than iron mixes with clay. At the time of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed, nor will it be left to another people. It will crush all those kingdoms and bring them to an end, but it will itself endure forever. This is the meaning of the vision of the rock cut out of the mountain, but not by human hands. A rock that broke the iron, the bronze, the clay, the silver, and the gold to pieces. The great God has shown the king what will take place in the future. The dream is true, and the interpretation is trustworthy. Then King Nebuchadnezzar fell prostrate before Daniel and paid him honor and ordered that an offering and incense be presented to him. The king said to Daniel, "Surely your God is the God of gods and the Lord of kings, and a revealer of mysteries, for you were able to reveal this mystery." Then the king placed Daniel in a high position and lavished many gifts on him. He made him ruler over the entire province of Babylon and placed him in charge of all its wise men. Moreover, at Daniel's request, the king appointed Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego administrators over the province of Babylon, while Daniel himself remained in the royal court. Last week in Daniel 2, we saw how Daniel was faced with the daunting task of discerning the king's dream, and not only interpreting it, but totally discerning what the king dreamt about at night and had him incredibly troubled. Remember, the king was troubled by this dream. We saw how it wasn't Daniel's ability, but rather wisdom that only comes from God. Wisdom to know that only God can do this, and then being able to receive the wisdom that comes from God. And he revealed to Daniel the king's dream. So today we're going to look at the content of the dream, and what it means for us, and how we understand it today. We see Daniel reveals this Arioch fellow, that there won't be any need for any executions, which is a good thing. As his dream, its interpretation, Daniel knows it. God showed Daniel, so don't kill anybody. Crazy King Nebuchadnezzar. And so Daniel proceeds to tell the king all about his God. He says, listen, King Nebuchadnezzar, no wise man, nobody. There isn't a human being alive that can do what you wanted to do, but there's a God in heaven. There's a God in heaven who reveals mysteries. That's good stuff. Daniel just kind of got in the king's face a little bit there, didn't he? What you're asking, no man can do. There's a God in heaven who's better than you, King Nebuchadnezzar, who's higher than you, who's way higher than you. And only God can give the interpretation. He has told me what's going on in your mind. See, God, it says, so he wants Nebuchadnezzar to understand what's going on. God wants Nebuchadnezzar to know what's going on. So Daniel tells him about the statue that he saw. This thing is huge. It describes it pretty in glowing terms. Its head was made of gold. Chest and arms silver, belly and thighs bronze, its legs are iron, its feet are partly iron. They claim while the king was watching, a rock gets cut out. But not by anybody, not by human hands. And it strikes the statue in the feet, and iron smashes them. The iron, all that stuff, is broken to pieces and becomes like chaff on the threshing floor in the summer. And that's how they would separate the chaff from the wheat. They throw it up in the air, and the junk blows away. The chaff blows away, the wheat's a little bit heavier and falls to the ground. And it says, Daniel says, without a trace. So these kingdoms are going to be destroyed without a trace. But this rock that strikes the statue becomes a huge mountain, fills the horde. And that's the dream that Nebuchadnezzar saw, that had him so troubled, that Daniel just outlined it to him that quickly, perfectly. And it's kind of easy to see why the king is troubled. You know, the only thing an earthly king really worries about is being overthrown. But they worry about it with so much vigor that they don't have room to worry about anything else. They don't have anything else to worry, so they get really paranoid about not being in power. Whenever you have power, when you've got power, the most paranoid thing you're worried about is losing that power. Because especially these kings, they know how ruthless they are. Most kings know how, and if somebody else ever takes power, and they're just as ruthless as they are, it's not going to go well for them. So the statue being destroyed in Daniel's dream can't be a good sign for the king. So his paranoia is not through the roof, to the point where he's ready to execute all the smart people in the kingdom. Because I guess maybe he figures that only somebody who's really, really smart, really, really wise, could mount something that's going to overthrow the king. So let's just kill all those people. And you can see, to this very day, any of your major dictators on earth, if anybody gets to the point where they're anything, they execute them. They don't care if they're cousins or relatives or what. They will do anything they can to stay in power, to use force against the people who are a threat to them. So Nebuchadnezzar's scared. He's troubled because he sees his downfall. And so then Daniel launches into the interpretation. You know, Nebuchadnezzar is the head of gold, which on one hand, yeah, hey Nebuchadnezzar, you're the head of gold. You're the biggest big shot in the world right now, Nebuchadnezzar. Which is, he already knows that. He didn't need Daniel to tell him that. He's just, God confirms that in the dream. He's so powerful. But he was put there by God. You know, so sometimes these people who are in power think that they're in power because they somehow did something. God puts everybody where He wants them. And then He's going to hold them accountable for what they did while they were there. They like the first part. They don't always like the second part. You know? And so, but Nebuchadnezzar's the head. God put him there, not because he was an upstanding individual, because God put him there. He had dominion over the horde. The entire known world of that day was run by Nebuchadnezzar. But verse 39 introduces trouble for the king. Two words that are going to bother any king. After you. Those two words bother a king. Because kings tend not to think of what's going to happen after them. There is no after them. They are all that they think they are. There is nothing that's going to come after them. So those two words bother Nebuchadnezzar. You know, who isn't concerned about that? That means he's dead. Because, you know, kings don't retire. The only way a king ceases to be king, he has to die. Or somebody has to kill him, which is basically the same thing. And so, but it gets worse. It gets worse. It says another kingdom will rise inferior to yours. Now, how does an inferior kingdom rise in place of a superior one? The inferior team doesn't tend to win very often. Well, since all power comes from God, failure to acknowledge this, that all power comes from God, results in ultimate failure. So Nebuchadnezzar is going to fall to an inferior kingdom because he's not recognizing God. Which is inferior kingdom is indicated by silver. You ever wonder why we give the first place guy the silver, the second place guy gets the gold, second place guy gets the silver, third place guy gets the bronze, fourth place guy gets what? Miscongeniality. It's that's how we do it. The award so naturally the third kingdom takes the bronze, and finally this fourth kingdom, strong as iron, it crushes everything, indicating a divided kingdom. Lots of pieces. When a kingdom is divided, do you ever try to? It's a whole lot easier to carry something that's in one piece. Do you ever break something and try to put it back together? And there's always that one or two pieces that just don't want to cooperate because it didn't break in such a way that sometimes you can do that too much, you can't. It's tough to deal with a divided kingdom. And that's what it means, that all this iron mixed with clay and indicating brittleness. And so the people will be a mixture and will not remain united any more than iron mixes with clay. Anybody who's ever dug in the ground knows what it's like to deal with clay. It just doesn't cooperate. It does what it does, and it's just there. Then it gets really cool. Then this chapter gets really, really cool. In verse 44, we read, "In the time of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed." And if your ears are perking right up there and you're thinking, okay, it sounds like he's talking about Jesus, you're on the right track. It says, "It will not be destroyed, nor will it be left with other people. It will crush all those kingdoms and bring them to an end, but it will itself endure forever." It's the meaning of the vision of a rock piled on mountains, but not by human hands. A rock that broke the iron, the bronze, the clay, the silver, the gold, the pieces. Now, from a purely historical standpoint, it isn't difficult to figure out who these kings are. The gold Nebuchadnezzar, they tell us Nebuchadnezzar is the gold kingdom. He's overthrown, not long after this, he's overthrown by the Persians. The Persians ruled for 200 years, were overthrown by the Greeks. That was in Alexander the Great. The Greeks ruled for almost 200 years, they were overthrown by the Roman Empire. And around 146 BC, it was the Romans who were in charge of the world when Jesus showed up. And that's all just straight historical facts. Right there, in the time of those kings. In the midst of those kings, the God of heaven is going to set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed, won't be left for other people. That's what Jesus was talking about. This is the kingdom movement that Jesus started. He's the rock that crushes the other kingdoms. Jesus is the rock that was cut out not by human hands. Cut out of the world, because Jesus was every bit, a man. He was part of it. He came because he was here, but he wasn't put here by human hand. Jesus wasn't our idea. He wasn't our idea. We didn't make Jesus happen. Salvation wasn't something we figured out. It wasn't, okay, guys, let's go. Let all in favor of having a Messiah come. We didn't do it that way. It wasn't done that way. Salvation wasn't something that we dwell in, we got. Salvation through Jesus was totally God's idea. It's something we embrace. But also won't be a Jesus 2 or Jesus Jr. or any successor to the crown. It won't be passed on to anybody else. He's the King of Kings. He's the Lord of Lords. He's the reason we sing that song, "Kings and kings will all pass away," but there's something about that name. That's why we sang that song today. It's right there, Daniel 2. Nebuchadnezzar dreamt it. He saw all those kings, including his own, and a king is passing away. There's something about that name. And Jesus will bring every other kingdom to its knees. Every other kingdom to its knees, starting with Nebuchadnezzar. Clear up to the kings and kingdoms that haven't even risen yet in our world yet today. Who knows how many more bad characters we're going to have to deal with over the years. They keep coming and going, don't they? They'll come, they do their thing, and they go. And then somebody else comes along and does their thing. Jesus is going to bring them to the knees. And this troubles the king. This troubles King Nebuchadnezzar because in his little world, he thinks he's God, and he should be worshipped. Nebuchadnezzar wants to be worshipped, and you see what happens in the very next chapter is Nebuchadnezzar builds this 90-foot image of himself, and what does he want people to do to it? Bow down and worship, because he thinks maybe, because he's the king, maybe his dream won't come to pass if he makes his own statue. Well, that's what kings do. They want to leave a legacy. They want to do it in a tangible way. Legacies just kind of happen. You can't control it. And so Daniel tries to tell Nebuchadnezzar in verse 45, The great God has shown the king what will take place in the future. The dream is true, interpretation is trustworthy. And what does King Nebuchadnezzar do? He falls prostrate before Daniel and pays honor and makes offering to him. He even says, surely your God is the God of gods, the Lord of kings, the revealer of mysteries, for you were able to reveal this mystery. He places Daniel in a high position and lavishes, gives him gifts and puts him in charge of all the wise men. That's what worldly people do to people like Daniel. I'll just give him a whole bunch of stuff. He puts the three buddies, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, in charge under Daniel. He almost gets it right. So notice Nebuchadnezzar does that to worship God. He honors and exalts Daniel. And he refers to him as your God. Your God, Daniel. He's Daniel's God. Nebuchadnezzar never kind of makes it his God. And he is the God of gods, the revealer of mysteries, but he doesn't embrace anyone's God. There is only one God. So this evening for Nebuchadnezzar, say he's the God of gods. Nebuchadnezzar still doesn't have it right. Because God is God. There is no other. He's the only one we worship. He's the God who revealed the mysteries. We need to understand, again, and I might point this out every week if necessary. I can say it every time. I've been told I like to be redundant. You know what that means? It means I repeat myself. I say the same thing over and over. Get it? It can be annoying, but it makes the point. You hear something enough times, you start to believe it. He's the God who reveals mysteries. The same God who revealed this dream and interpretation to Daniel can and will reveal the mystery, all mysteries to us, including some of the mysteries we find ourselves in right now. What do we do, God? What do we do? If God can tell Daniel what Nebuchadnezzar dreamt about, think about that. I don't know how many of you had dreams last night. And I don't know, and I can guarantee you, I don't know what any of you dreamt about last night. Even if you told me, I probably wouldn't understand what you dreamt about last night. But if God can tell Daniel, King Nebuchadnezzar's dream, surely he can tell us what he wants us to do and what we're going to do if we pay attention. Daniel and every wise man in Babylon was about to be executed. They were that close. But Daniel trusted in God alone, and God revealed the dream to him. And just like he revealed Daniel, he will show us the way. The most popular book in the first century Jews was the book of Daniel. And you know why? Because they saw in Daniel, they saw Jesus in Daniel, and when Jesus came along, they're like, what we're seeing, it kind of looks like this. Maybe Jesus is the one Daniel's talking about. Well, they were right. And so they got to reading Daniel a whole lot because it was making sense. It was making more sense than it ever made. And they were paying attention because God was doing something through Jesus. He revealed himself in the person of Jesus Christ. Jesus said, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. He said, so that's revelation right there. Don't get any more clean than that. They had eyes to see and ears to hear. And as today's body of Christ, we must have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, or we're going to get duped. Do you have any idea how many people out there are trying to dupe you into believing something that isn't true? And you really got to pay attention these days to what they're saying because they want you to believe something that they want you to believe that isn't true. What does the Bible say? What does the Bible say? And every now and then, it's awesome because every now and then I'll be talking to one of you and you'll be telling me a story about something, you'll quote scripture and you'll nail it. I'm just like, yes, yes. Not everything is as it seems. And the world wants it to be that way. We've got to reveal mysteries to his people when we pay attention, when we worship. And so that's what we do, right? We worship, we pay attention, we listen to what God says. And there's sometimes, I got to tell you, sometimes when God says, it doesn't always make sense. But if God's saying it, that's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. And I can tell you story after story about things that God said to me. Right up to the point where God said, I want you to go and be a pastor. And I told God he had to be nuts. I still think he's nuts, but here I am. And you just follow him. Let's pray. Father God, we thank you for revealing to Daniel the mystery you revealed to Daniel and for all that means. Lord, we pray that you would indeed reveal to us Lord, the mysteries of your kingdom, the mysteries of what's going on in the world now and what we need to do. Show us the way, Lord. Show us, and Lord, we don't know what people are going to say. We don't know what's going to come next. But we know you. And as we sing through it all, may we learn to depend only on your word, not on the word of anybody else, but upon your word. Fill us with your spirit, Lord, as we worship, as we praise you in your name. Amen.